claiming your authentic presence in the eye of the storm. And this is based on our, as you say, the zeitgeist, the current situation in the world, and how things have changed since our last meeting in October of last year. And a lot has changed in terms of acceleration and intensity. And this is on a global scale. And so many people are feeling unmoored, not grounded, frightened, anxious, angry. And if I could distill that down into one element, I would say it's the feeling of powerlessness, that people feel powerless in the face of these changes that are happening around them. And I think it's really important to understand that we are not powerless. We are not powerless as a community. We are not powerless as individuals. But the process of claiming that power is an individual process first. That when we choose to claim our sovereign presence in the midst of this chaotic storm, that is the beginning. That is when we can connect to our true self and then connect together in community.
Yeah, yeah, nicely said. So the eye of the storm, it's like most of people have this impression, or they feel themselves, there's so much going on in the world, and they are powerless, because it's just happening. They are observing, okay? And so it's like there's this big hurricane, like this circling wind, very strong, and they are just in the midst of that, and just pulls them, their attention, everything just happens, and they are just like a little boat or a little a tiny piece of wood in the big ocean, in a big storm, and so we came up with that the eye of the storm, because it's not about getting away from the storm, because that's not possible. Okay, it's around us. Okay, this is what's happening right now in the world. A big storm, a big upheaval, very fast change, very crazy things. Uh, your reality is questioned, your beliefs are questioned. So it's a very unstable time compared to the last decades or centuries, and so I think the trick is to get in the eye of the storm. So
I think the analogy of the hurricane is so apt for this, becoming the eye within the storm. Now, externally, you don't have any control over it. You just have to wait until there is a sense of calm and sunshine. But we cannot wait, because this is an energetic storm. So we have to become the eye itself. We have to generate a space, a sphere, a bubble, a circle around us that is that calm and peaceful center. There is a very clear and specific way to do that, to ground and center yourself, to connect and align, and then expand your intention and awareness to create that very space. But that is just the beginning. Knowing how to connect to yourself, to generate that space, is one thing, and a very important thing at that. Because this storm that we are in, is not going to cease. It's not going to pass over us.
Yeah, and it's basically the action of claiming we are exploring on this weekend, because it's so funny, because like you really, it's on one hand, it's very simple, because you have the power. You can make it. You're the only one who can make that choice to be the center of your storm, of your perception of your surrounding. Okay, so you must be the one who's making this choice. Okay. And because it's not happening by itself, it's not a present which will come our way, and just takes us into the middle of the storm. There's nothing to hope for. It has to be a very clear choice, and what is needed for this choice. This is basically one part of our exploration on this weekend. Okay, what do I need? And everybody has it, but it has to become conscious. We have to become aware of it, of our power and our choices. And there will be definitely a space in this weekend to explore that. And then, because then, okay, how do I claim? People can come up and ask, okay, but yeah, but okay, I believe you, but how do I claim this? Okay.
The fact that you choose to be a part of this and enter the sacred space that is created naturally by the presence of the castle itself, but then by our intention, you are already entering a degree of self-ownership. I have chosen to connect to myself here, now, in the presence of others. Just by saying, I choose to be still, I choose to be centered within myself, I claim this breath, I claim my body, I claim my soul presence right here, right now. As simple as that sounds, very few people do it or do it consistently. It happens naturally to some degree at every one of our events, but we take it deeper. We hold that space around the fire of just showing up and being seen and heard without an agenda, so that whatever is present for you at that moment can be witnessed and reflected back to you. That's the beginning of finding yourself again or finding yourself anew. And then within that process, you look inward with guidance and you realize, there are some things that I could let go of. I can clear out some of my old baggage right now and make space so that I can receive more of my authentic presence. And that's where all the energy is, and that's where the true power is, to make conscious choice and to create consciously.
Hmm. Yeah, what just came up in my mind was this truthful resonance, which happens there, because there's going to be more people, okay? And when there is a truthful, honest, from the heart resonance, like not an agenda resonance, not like an ego resonance, somebody wants to do something, just like people who are just there, how they are, everybody can really get a sense of that dimension of power we all have, and it's about really this experience, because nothing beats the experience. And everybody has to have that experience of self or soul, for example.
If I would distill it down, it's really the process of self-acceptance,
Mm.
of accepting all that you are. And so, as you say, we hold a space of resonance, no judgment, no expectation, no agenda, where each person is allowed to locate their authentic self now and decide to accept in the presence of others. This is a ritual experience. And it's a very, very powerful one, because trying to do it all by yourself doesn't work as effectively. But when you are surrounded by a dozen or so other mirrors, other souls who are reflecting back to you who you really are, you get a clearer, stronger sense of yourself very, very quickly. Plus, that group is there to accept you even when you are having difficulty accepting yourself. It's really about letting go and opening up and discovering that you already have everything you need to be the calm center in the eye of the storm. You just have to claim it. You have to find that within yourself and claim that for yourself. You have to experience it. And really, all you need to do is
show up.
Show up. Just make the choice. I'm going to do this for myself, and all I need to do is show up. And the rest will happen naturally and organically. We'll probably do 1 or 2 more podcasts before then. And if you have questions, send them to us and we will answer those or address those questions to the best of our ability in those future podcasts before our gathering of sovereign souls, claiming your authentic presence in the eye of the storm.